Okay, don't always judge a book by its cover. This is my $80 auctioned Homelight 5-horse rear tine rototiller. Say that 5 times fast. When I got this, it had a stuck engine, or at least appeared to be stuck. It was actually a stuck open intake valve. After some work with the head off, I got that freed up. This is all last year. After I got this, I believe I got this last November. So, got the valve freed up. It had compression. I put the head back on with its original head gasket, all back together. I got it running. It didn't run very good. It wasn't really picking up fuel overly well. I believe I made a few videos on this previously. I could be wrong. So I rototilled the garden with it. It did okay. It did keep on dying, so it was not pumping enough fuel. So I ended up going on Amazon. I found an Amazon carburetor for it. I'll show you the old one in a second. But now, it runs perfectly. Let's see if it'll fire back up. It is warm, since I just rototilled the garden with it yet again. That is the brand new carburetor straight out of the box. No tuning done to it at all. You definitely get lucky sometimes with these Amazon carburetors. Other times you don't. This carburetor I believe was $39. I'll probably post how much it was in the description. But this is a little bit different one, since this has a choke right here on the side. A lot of them have a pull choke right here. My other rototiller, my free rototiller, has a pull choke. It does kind of operate with the throttle, but it's a pain in the butt. I might end up going the same route on that one, getting a brand new carburetor for it as well. It runs as well, but it runs and dies. And it I know did sit out for at least 3 months in the elements. So new carburetor wouldn't be a bad idea on that one as well. But this one here is all up and running. It does smoke a little bit, so the engine is a little bit worn, but for what I need it for, it works perfectly fine. As long as it fires up when I need it to fire up, it'll work. Unfortunately, the side panel is discontinued and no longer available, but like I said, it's a cheap $80 rototiller. It does what I need it to do. So this right here is the garden I just rototilled with that tiller. Like I said, it does a pretty darn good job. For what I'm into it for, it works perfectly fine and does what I need to do. When I first did get it running, I did till this. This did have grass, and I was able to till all the grass under. But I think what happened was, as I was using it, it broke up some of the rust and junk in the tank, and it just made it worse. So the carburetor definitely did need to be replaced on that as well. It did also sit out in the elements for I have no idea how long. So I got it at an estate sale auction at a lawn garden shop about 5-10 minutes away from here that shut down. So yeah, that's basically it's kind of its backstory. Most likely they told them the engine was seized. They probably didn't even look into the engine, and they just basically abandoned it, the original owner. And I bought it at auction for I believe around $80, which for what I need it for is not too bad. As long as it keeps on working, I'm happy. Lastly, here is the original carburetor. This is the one I did put a diaphragm in last November. So it was working, but as you can see, the rust and corrosion on it is pretty bad. So as you can see, here's the end of it. But yeah, this here I might pull the diaphragm out, see if it's still salvageable, and try that in my other rototiller. But I'm probably just going to end up ordering up another carburetor. One other thing I did do, it's not necessarily needed, it doesn't tell you to do it. The gasket that goes between the actual carburetor and the block, I did put a very thin layer of RTV on that, just so it would stick, and just in case there was any irregularities between the carburetor and the actual block itself and the gasket, it will help seal it up and keep it all good. I also did a very thin layer of RTV underneath the airbox There is no gasket there. And I figured again, so it's not sucking in dirt. If there's any irregularities, it'll be sealed up nice and good. So that's pretty much it for my cheap home light rototiller. No plans on getting rid of it. It's really not worth much. It's worth more to me than it is worth to anybody else. As long as it keeps on running, I'm perfectly happy with it. I did change the oil in it last year when I got it, so this should be good for quite a few years coming, I'm hoping. As long as I can get a couple years out of it, I'm perfectly happy with it. I'll talk to them later. Please keep redneck like always, and please subscribe and comment.